Alright guys, welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video. Today we're working on this 2018 Ford Transit 350 HD with the 3.2 liter diesel in it. And I normally don't work on diesels, but this is a friend of mine, so I'll make an exception for him. But what I want to talk about today is a starter replacement for this particular vehicle. And I do believe that Mitchell's Pro Demand times and time and instructions are off, and maybe I'm just missing something, or I didn't understand something, or whatever the case may be. But this wasn't as simple as it made it out to be. The manual says to, loosen the studs, which you may or may not be able to see because they're kind of blocked here. But right here, the studs is only 2 studs with a ground right here on the bottom. And that's pretty straightforward, easy to get to. You loosen them up and that's it. Literally, the starter motor is loose. That's not the problem. The challenge is to loosen the solenoid cables, the signal and the main battery cables. There's 2 of them that go to it. That's where the challenge lies. And the manual simply states to loosen those bolts, push the starter to the side, and loosen the cables, and that's it. But there's a problem. There's a cooler here with the oil filter, which, as you can see, I moved it out of the way because I couldn't figure out any other way of doing this without doing that. The oil cooler is literally, I mean, you can see right here where it mounts to. It goes right here and it blocks all of this. You can't get to it. You can't see, you can't get to it, you can't do nothing. And when you try to pull the starter towards the... Alright, sorry about that. I don't know why my camera powered off, but anyways, what I was explaining is, as you try to pull this towards the rear of the vehicle, the cable, this thick one right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, it hinders you from doing that to a certain degree. So I thought it was getting hung up on this coolant hose right here, so I loosened and plugged it up so I won't lose the coolant. But in all reality, it was probably a mixture of that and this cable. I mean, you can only go so far. This one is pretty loose, not a big deal, but this one is tight. You can only go back a certain amount, so that prohibits you from reaching it. And so what I felt I had to do was to remove the cooler, move it out of the way, and it was a straight shot. I mean, you can see it is right there. The new one is already bolted on. And the reason why I am replacing this, I probably should have mentioned this towards the beginning of the video, is because the starter motor would catch and then it will just start free spinning. So that's why I'm replacing the starter. I've seen that before. I guess the overrun clutch goes bad or something. It makes an initial catch and then it starts to free spin. Every now and then you get it to go with no problem, but I guess once it warms up or something, it just starts to give you an issue. It takes forever to get it restarted until it finally catches. So that's why I'm replacing this starter motor. But this is an issue right here. The instructions was pretty straightforward. Loosen the thing, move it out of the way, and reach the cables, and that's it, you're done. The labor times on this was an hour. There's no way this is an hour, and there's no way I can do this without removing this. You can't get it from the top because you have the brake booster and everything in the way. You really can't reach it from the top, as far as I could tell. Again, unless there's another way that I was unaware of, or maybe I'm just not reading the instructions right, or whatever, I don't know. This is a bit of a pain. Not a major ordeal, but it's misleading. And there's a gasket here. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I don't want to move this too much because it's already dripping. But there's a gasket here for the cooler, and that bad boy's on back order for 3 months. So I hope it doesn't leak. Maybe I'll just dab a little bit of RTV on there to make a good seal. I don't like doing that, because if you get a little bit of stuff inside and then it plugs something up, then it becomes a whole thing, and I don't feel like fooling with that. But desperate times call for desperate measures, so hopefully I won't have an issue. But you know, of course, you know, why would they not have it in stock? Stupid gasket, 3-month back order log for a gasket. But anyways, I'll get back with you guys when I'm done with this, putting it all back together. Hopefully everything will be back the way it needs to be. And but I just want to kind of rant a little bit about how this was misleading, and I got into a job thinking one thing and now it's another, and it happens. These things happen. So stay tuned and I'll be right back with you. All right, so we are back and the starter is officially in. And yeah, I don't think there's no way of doing this without removing that that cooler right there. It was so easy after I got that stupid thing out. The only thing that I'm worried about is obviously that gasket leaking afterwards, but I mean, it is what it is. We have no other choice. The thing's on back order for like 3 months and I couldn't find it nowhere else as of now. So we'll cross that bridge if we get there. For right now, the starter is in. Again, there's something not right with those instructions. I don't see how you can get to these back here. See, with it installed, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Here's a solenoid right here. The wiring is what, 2-3 inches further back. So between this motor mount bracket and this up top, you really can't see. I don't know, maybe there's a way to get around it. Maybe it's the position that I'm on, I'm not sure. But definitely removing this helps out a lot. It really does. At least in my situation here. The manual didn't mention anything about removing this. I don't know if that's an error or something. Sometimes the manual's not right, you know. The Mitchell and all these people, they get this from, you know, other sources, and sometimes they mix up their information. I've seen that happen before. It's not uncommon for that to happen, but in this situation I'm not sure. But removing that helped out a lot, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery back, or reconnect the battery I should say, and then test it, make sure everything fires right up. So give me a few minutes. All right, so we're gonna fire her up. I already started a few times and everything is a-okay. Yeah, there you go. Now it's working as it should. I'm gonna let it warm up for a little bit, and because it's kind of cold. And normally, from what the customer states, is when first thing in the morning it fires up fine, but as he drives and gets to his next location, it starts giving issue. It starts to literally like free spin. The starter motor starts to free spin. I didn't document that before because I wasn't planning on making a video of this. This is just something when I ran into this whole these whole shenanigans here. That's when I decided to kind of, you know, just public service announcement, just in case somebody runs into a similar problem. All these engine faults and all that was already there beforehand, so it has nothing to do with what we did. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it off, turn it back on. All right, there you go, fires up every time. So there you have it, GB fixed. So thanks a lot for watching, and please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.